All right, our final exit interview among Senators defensemen. Travis Hamonic. He missed the last half of the season due to injury, and it was almost this mysterious, like he came back and started skating with the team, then he wasn't, then he was with a non-contact, then he wasn't. I don't think we ever see him play another game with the Ottawa Senators. I think for him, we were on the minority side of actually like appreciating what he brought when he was acquired. He actually, like, the first 6 months, like the end of that 2022 season and then the start of the next season, were like half decent. Even all of last season, him having 21 points and 6 goals was almost like, like he still has a bit of game left, still a bit of a mess in his own zone compared to what he was at his peak. But last year it really felt like, at 33 years old, a lot of NHL games, 841 now under his belt. It's starting to catch up with him, and it was pretty obvious by the end of it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I feel like, Ross, you and I, when he was given that extension, we looked at it and we're like, okay, there's not a lot of right shot defensemen on this team, first off. There's not a lot of veteran presence on this team, especially on the back end. And 1.1 million is not a lot of money. Sure, you don't love the full no move clause he's given, but that was kind of a nod to respecting him as a veteran. But we said, if this guy is your 7th defenseman, kind of your Nick Holden type guy, then it's okay. The issue is, sure, he only plays 48 games, but you look at it and almost all of those games were in one consistent stretch at the start of the season where we were kind of saying, okay, give him a spot start here and there type thing. Maybe he plays 15 to 25 games sprinkled out throughout the year, but that wasn't the case. He was overused. He was played in the top 4 too often, even this year. So I don't know what they're going to do with Travis Hamonic here, Ross, as he still has 1.1 million for next year, full no move clause. I hope they don't use a buyout on them. I kind of hope they're just able to quietly bury him and give him some sort of role with the team. But I'm sure Travis Hamonic doesn't want to hang him up just yet. So it's going to be interesting to see how this goes, the dynamic between the team and Hamonic, because Hamonic clearly was a Dorion guy. Like, that's someone that Dorion brought in. He paid more than he needed to acquire him, and he extended him and gave him the full no move. So I don't think this regime is going to feel like they owe Travis Hamonic anything.
Although Travis Hamonic was a teammate of Steve Staios, if you can believe that. That's how long Travis Hamonic has been in the league, that Steve Staios' last season he played when he got that one game over 1,000 was with the New York Islanders during Travis Hamonic's rookie or second season in the league. This year, Travis Hamonic played 48 games, 2 goals, 4 assists for 6 points, was -10, and had the worst 5-on-5 expected goals percentage among all Senators defensemen at 40.3%. And I think the biggest indictment, and certainly there's some circumstantial pressures on here, which is the parts of the season he played versus missed, but I also think there's some correlation. Without Travis Hamonic in the lineup, the Sens record was 18, 12, and 4. That would be a points percentage that probably sneaks you into the 8th spot in the playoffs. With Travis Hamonic, 19 wins in 48 games. 19 wins in 48 games. That's not good enough. And frankly, the team knew it. There were games where he was playing 5 or 6 minutes. Like,
yeah,
they know it. And I don't want to beat a dead horse because this is a very respected veteran. Over 800 games in the league. Every dog has its day. Is that kind of like the saying? It just feels like enough's enough.
Yeah. And it's tough because I think he's a guy that's well liked in the room. He seems like a hilarious guy that wears his heart on his sleeve.
But he's one of the best interviews on the team. Whenever he would talk, like, he's very like thoughtful. He's very he has an ability to he should start a podcast.
Not a Sens podcast, though. Not a Sens.
Hammer down.
Yeah, there's a lot of good names to be had with Hammer there, but Ross, I'll definitely remember him as the Beaver Tapper. The Beaver tapping was hilarious, especially when he played with Jake Sanderson in Sanderson's rookie year, and Sandy's obviously like I know I'm at a better spot than you in my career right now. I'm the better player on this pair, but you're a veteran. So if you're beaver tapping, I'm going to pass it to you.
Yep. This is what I'll always remember Travis Hamonic for. His first game with the Ottawa Senators in Winnipeg, his hometown.
Yep.
And he gets the player of the game after a big win. And the boys, you can see Branny in the background just loving it. So, I mean, that to me also just kind of exemplifies that, look, this guy's well-liked. He's a great veteran. I hope, like, a perfect role to me would be a skills coach and have him be like, teach these boys how to block shots and hits. But
yep,
we've seen enough on the ice that I think it's time. And it's not like, if he was at 975 games, I'd be like, could we milk 25 more, get him to 1,000? But he hit that 800 games played milestone. I don't know if he's getting to another milestone in his career. I think that, look, when you look back, when we sit back 10 years from now as an NHL player, we're going to be like, good career for Travis Hamonic.
Definitely.
And I think that we could probably leave it at that, unless you have any final thoughts on Travis Hamonic.
The other thought that I'll think about him from this season is he had such a classic beer league moment. He's behind the net with the puck, huffing and puffing, and the board mic catches him going, I'm effing gassed. Like he's waiting, he's waiting for players to come on the change, and the forward loops around, and then they decide, does the defenseman take it? Does he drop for the forward? And he sees the forward coming in, and he lets him know, I'm effing gassed. You take this. I'm going to the net. And the mic picked it up perfectly. It was an all-time moment, just so relatable. If you've played beer league and you're on like a 3-minute shift and you're like, I'm dead.
Well said. Great way to finish up our exit interviews among Senators defensemen. That is how we felt about the season of Travis Hamonic. Let us know how you feel about it in the comments.